What's up, YouTube? It's me, Larry the Batman fan, and I am back with another video rocking this Transformers shirt that I got for my birthday. Just got it in the mail yesterday. My mom got it for my birthday. I'm pretty happy to have it. It's a Decepticon. I think it's Megatron. But yeah, I am going to be getting another Transformers shirt very soon. It's going to have all the main superhero Transformer characters like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and the other guys, the other 2 or 3 good guys. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about Transformers. I'm here to do another video on the original Xbox collection. And it's not the whole collection. I've already shown that off. It's a top 15. So without further ado, we will get into it and discuss what games I think are the best. So for number 1 is a no-brainer right here. You guys saw this coming. Halo Combat Evolved. But I also am putting at number 2, actually I should probably put number 2 as Halo 2. Or rather, Halo 2 should be number 1 and Halo should be number 2. That's what I meant to say. But Halo is a great game. I really do enjoy this game. There's so many countless hours of playing the multiplayer with friends. I even did a multiplayer video with my friend Kyle on this particular video. And it's just a lot of fun, you know. It's a good first-person shooter that really put Microsoft on the map, because they had so many games that they were releasing at the time that were Xbox exclusives, like Brute Force, Blinks the Time Sweeper, Blinks the Time Sweeper 2, Crazy Taxi 3. You know, they had a bowling game that was exclusive to Xbox. They had Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, which was also exclusive to Xbox, I believe. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games and some other games. But none of them were able to capitalize enough for Microsoft to stick around, you know. So when Halo came in, it really changed the game and how Microsoft was looked upon, and it just was groundbreaking. So that's why it's the greatest game on Xbox. If you have an original Xbox, even in 2023, even though the system is old, this is definitely one of the games that you must buy if you have an original Xbox. This and Halo 2, excellent games. And Halo 2 capitalized upon it even more and made it more groundbreaking. A better campaign. The graphics were slightly better than the first game, even though the first game the graphics still were pretty good. A more drawn out levels, you know, more aliens to shoot and kill, and just all around a great game. Overall, just excellent. So now we move on to number 3. And number 3 for me, it was a tough choice between Fable and, you know, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, but ultimately I didn't choose any of them. I chose Jade Empire because I like the fact that you can choose. You know, you have some choices in the game. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, you can do it in Star Wars as well. But just overall, I like the story of Jade Empire a little bit better. I like the RPG elements in it. I like the environments. They look beautiful. I like the sprites. I just like how the game is. I think it's amazing for an RPG game. Jade Empire is where it's at. You know, it's just a great game. Good combat. I mean, what more can I say? It's excellent. I highly recommend it. Number 4 is another RPG game. I know I had to put it in here somewhere, and it was pretty damn close to Jade Empire. It's Fable: The Lost Chapters. They actually made 2 versions of the original game because the first Fable had a couple of glitches in the game, and glitches that made it so you couldn't really progress in the game. So that's why they made Fable: The Lost Chapters. but for the most part, it's still the same game. Excuse me, but in this game, you can choose to be a good guy or a bad guy. And there are parts of the game where you go up to these talking doors, and some of the doors, they're a bit moody. You know, they're weepy, or they're pissed off, or they're evil, or they're good. But if you're evil and you go up to a door that's good, it won't let you in unless you become good. You know, I chose to be good in this game. I mean, obviously, you can see the character right there. Good on the top, and then evil on the bottom there. The decision making in the game is all up to you, but I chose to be good. I chose to help people. I chose to put out the fires. I chose to save the villagers from evil savages who were going into people's houses, raping them and stealing shit from them. I decided to help them, you know. So it's a good decision-based RPG. It doesn't play at all like Jade Empire. It's more action RPG related. It's more whacking and stuff. There isn't as much talking in it like in Jade Empire. So that's really the difference between the two. But all in all, it's a great game. Great combat. Just an excellent game all around. I don't know what else to say. It's amazing. It's a shame we haven't gotten a Fable 4. I really do wish Microsoft would consider a Fable 4 for Xbox Series X. Number 5. This is a really good first-person shooter as well. Really groundbreaking. The story of it is about a guy named Dr. Robert Friedman, however you pronounce his last name. And that game is Half-Life 2. And it's a great game. It's a great first-person shooter game. You know, for number 5, the game is basically about a guy who survives an alien attack. Basically, in the game, you got to kill aliens. You also go through the doors, and you know, you get stuff, pick up new weapons and stuff, and things like that. But you're basically a guy trying to save survivors against aliens, and it's a really good game. I never beat it. I played a lot of it though, but it is a really great game, and I do recommend Half-Life 2 if you have an original Xbox. It's a great game. Number 6. Hey, let's come have some fun with Crazy Taxi. May not have been the best voiceover for the first game, but this is the third game. Continues more of the same. It's not a racing game, it's a driving game. You play as a taxi cab driver, you go through the levels, you pick people up, and you drive them to your destination, or their destination rather. It's a really good game. Maybe a little bit frustrating at times because, like, if you don't get there in a certain amount of time that you're supposed to get there, they may swear at you. They say you suck, you know, or you're a douchebag, you know, you suck at driving, things like that. You're a jerk, and they won't give you as much money. But if you get there super fast and you get there, like, if you got like a minute and a half to get to your destination, and you get there within 30 seconds, they pay you more money. So it's definitely an interesting concept for a driving game. Not too sophisticated either, but once you get used to how it controls in the game, and you know, moving backwards and moving forwards and getting to the place, you will get good at this game, but it does take some practice. But great game. Crazy Taxi 3 was only available on the original Xbox. Number 6. Oh no, we're on number 7. Sorry. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Great game. Good RPG game. I mean, there's so much you can do. Lots of like leveling up your sword and your character stats, your stamina, and you know, getting potions and whatnot. doing all sorts of missions and taking out bad guys and finding like portals to go through that take you to some other part of the game. Killing like wolves in the game. You get a dog that can help you out in the game, from what I remember. All in all, it's a great RPG game that can't be overlooked or passed up if you have an original Xbox. It's a great game. Like I said, it was a very hard decision placing these RPGs back to back. I couldn't really do it. I had to add some more variety to this video. But still, at number 7, I still think that that's a pretty good spot for that. Number 8 is Mech Assault 2. Really great game. Definitely worth playing. If you like robot shoot 'em up type of games, you really can't miss it because it's a really fun game. I also like the first Mech Assault game. I think that that game is also a lot of fun to play if you guys like robot shooting games where you go as a robot blowing shit up on screen, just blowing down buildings and killing other robots and stuff, doing mission objective stuff, throwing missiles out of your chest area and the robot. Yeah, it's just a great time. It's a perfect game to play if you're, mad. Okay. Let's see, is that number 7? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, sorry guys, just trying to make sure I have this in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And then, of course, Halo 2, so we're at number 8. And for number 8, I choose Dreamfall, The Longest Journey. This is a really fun adventure game. You play as Zoe, and in the game you have like a robot friend. The robot friend helps you out a bit, says, well, what are we going to do today, Zoe? Where are we going? What are you doing? Her dad is in the game, she's got like an ex-boyfriend that she had a relationship with. I didn't really care about all that. I just cared about how the game was and if it was fun. And it is fun. It's a very fun adventure game where you do mission objective things. And, there's parts of the game where you go to gym class, you learn karate, you learn how to defend yourself. You have this friend that you go to. She's got like a salon or saloon, however you pronounce it, where she does like people's haircuts and stuff, makeup and all that crap. And she's a good friend of yours, and she's very helpful in the game. You do keep a friendship with your ex-boyfriend in the game, and he kind of hangs out with you sometimes. Your dad goes away on a trip. Something happens to somebody. I forgot a little bit of the story, sorry. And then like you have to go to that town, take the cab to that town, and then you explore the area and find out where this person is, get to that person, move on with the mission objectives. Yeah, it's just a really fun game. This game you could talk about for hours, honestly. But I recommend it. It's a great game. If you guys haven't tried out Dreamfall, it's definitely a great game. One of the best on the original Xbox. Alright. Number 9. This game was pretty fun. Star Wars Republic Commando. In this game you command an army. You're the leader of the team. And it's set in the Star Wars franchise. You go through the levels, commanding 2 or 3 other guys. Go that way, open up that door, kill a bunch of droids of stormtroopers, and it's done very well. The storytelling in the game is excellent. The boss battles in the game are pretty fun. Not the most difficult. Maybe later on in the game they are, but it's a lot of fun. It's not really so calm-ish, but it does have some tactical elements in the game, like going to that spot, commanding them to go that way, or telling them to regroup to you. So it does have some tactical elements in it, but not as so commie as you would think, because it plays like your first-person shooter. It's not really a tactical shooter, you know, but it's done really well, and I highly recommend it if you have an Xbox. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more brief, because I see we're at about 16 minutes. Dead to Rights, the first one, also available on GameCube and the PS2 for number 10 spot. It's a very good game. I like it. It plays a little bit like Max Payne. You play as a cop. You got a dog friend that helps you in the game, though, so you're not alone. Take out bad guys and save the innocent people. And it's done in a third-person shooter, and it's done pretty well. It's like I said, it plays very similar to Max Payne, but it's done well. It's done right. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of like Max Payne type of games, you know, where you can shoot backwards or shoot forwards. It's excellent. Not as good as Max Payne, but it's still a good game. It's still one that can contend with, or compete rather, with Max Payne. Number 11, Quantum Redshift. This is a fun racing game for the original Xbox. I like it. Very fun. The graphics are good. The gameplay is good. Plays like a Wipeout game. Yeah, it's a great game. I recommend it. Definitely worth checking out. Number 12, this game. For some people, they didn't like this game. I will admit, Batman Rise of Shinzu does get pretty repetitive after time, but I am a big Batman fan. I grew up with Batman, so I have a soft spot for this game. And at number 12, I think it's worth putting at number 13, actually. At number 13, it's definitely worth putting it there. It's a great game. You can play as Batman, Robin, Batgirl, or Nightwing in the game, which is awesome. I play as Batman in the campaign, but I also tried out Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl. I think on my Xbox currently, I'm going through it with Batgirl, but I haven't beaten it. I don't like that there's a time limit in the game. There shouldn't be a time limit in a beat-em-up game. I think that really it sucks. But other than that, it's not a bad beat-em-up game. Just it got hate because it's repetitive. You do the same crap through each level. But all in all, I think it's all right. For number 13, it's really not that bad. Number 14, had so much fun with this even to this day. Of course, you guys pretty much knew that I was going to put a Tony Hawk game up here on my list, because Tony Hawk focuses on the fun. And it's a game that's good to play when you're bored. It's a game that's good to play multiplayer with your friends. So if I had Kyle or Joseph over here, we could play this game and still have a blast. And it's really fun. Tony Hawk. Excellent game. I've talked about Tony Hawk with the other videos too. PSP video, I mentioned it. And a couple of the other top 15. So I'm not really going to get into it, but y'all know I like Tony Hawk games. Excuse me. And number 15 is Midway Arcade Treasures. I love these classic games. On one disc is like 20 games. You get, or 20, yeah, 20 games. I was right. I thought it was going to be 22, but nope, 20 games right there. You see it? You get Defender, you get Joust, you get Paperboy, you get Joust 2, you get Defender 2, you get Gauntlet, Gauntlet 2, you get Marble Madness, you get Spy Hunter 1 and 2, you get Smash TV, Toobin', Clax, Splat, and a bunch of others. Satan's Hollow, I see on the back here, Vindicators, Root Beer Tapper. I'm not going to mention all of them, but y'all know it's right there. And it's just really fun. The game was also released on GameCube and the PS2 as well. Whatever system you get it for, it's a great compilation of games. Definitely worth checking out. And as you see, I got this game for $7. And I think it's still going for around that price. Maybe $8 or $9, but definitely not more than 9. And if you do pay more than 9, you're an idiot. But yeah, it's a great game. Now for the honorable mentions, folks. And yes, trust me, there are some good other games for the system. A couple that I want to mention that I do not have is Panzer Dragoon Orta. I used to have that game, but when you're a kid, you do stupid things, trade games into game stores and some other stuff, and then you don't end up having the game anymore. So I don't have that. Red Dead Revolver is also great on the original Xbox. I have that for PS2. I don't have it on Xbox. I also think that 13 is a good game for the original Xbox. Hitman 4 Blood Money. Also Hitman 3 Contracts is a great game. Call of Duty 2 Big Red One, which I do have on the shelf over there, but loose disc. I don't have it complete. And Call of Duty 3. The first game's okay, but it had a few problems. What else? Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. That's not a bad licensed game. And Spider-Man 1 and 2, and Batman Begins. Those are a few that I can mention off the top of my head. Now for the games that I do have here, Bloodwake, a very fun Twisted Metal type of game, but instead of being in vehicles and cars, you're on boats. And it's a great game. I highly recommend it if you like combat type of games. Classified: The Sentinel Crisis. This is an exclusive, I think, to original Xbox. Or maybe not. Maybe it was on PC. But it's not a bad first-person shooter. Although it doesn't make any damn sense that you can't break the environments. Like, you shoot a car and it does nothing to the car. Just doesn't. That's flawed. But other than that, yeah, it's still a pretty good game. Shenmue 2, which I just got this recently. I haven't had a chance to play it, but I want to play it eventually when I get some time. Maybe after this video I will, or I don't know, maybe my next day off. But I know it's a great game. Great action adventure game with Shenmue. I think I'll have another. I just bought me a Coke, but I think I will have another. Great game. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Excellent game. Not much can be said that it's just a great RPG game, a Star Wars franchise. You can even be as Darth Vader and bad guys like Darth Maul in the game, go around destroying environments and kicking Jedi ass in the game. It's really good, really fun. The only thing I hate about this game is the opening of doors. I got to certain doors in the game. It took me 5 to 10 minutes to figure out how to open up the door. I was like, "Argh!" But other than that, the game is great. Besides the stupid door opening, which I hate. Other than that, yeah, there's nothing really else to complain about. The game is practically flawless. Freedom Fighters is an excellent third-person shooter game. Also released on the GameCube and the PS2. Really good game. Can't recommend it enough. Excellent. Taito Legends has a bunch of classic games for the original Xbox. I think it's worth checking out, worth owning. It's only about a $10 game. I got it for $10. Might be 12 or 13 or 14 depending on eBay shipping, because the sellers want $4 or $5, $6, $7, $8 for a game to be shipped. So you might pay around we'll just say the $10 to $15 range, especially with that shipping. But it's great. You get Bubble Bobble. You get Bubble Bobble Part 2 maybe. Okay, I don't see Bubble Bobble Part 2 on here, but You get Space Invaders, you get Jungle Hunt, you get Operation Wolf, Colony 7, Battle Shark, and a bunch of others. I'll just show you guys. And it's just a really fun compilation game. You got like 30 games on one disc, and I love these compilation games. The games for the NES, Super Nintendo, Atari, Sega Genesis, maybe a couple from the N64 days. You know, it's just great. I think you even get Rampage on here. You might get Rampage. You know, it's fun. Great game. I think it was also on the PS2, or that might have just been the second part. Broken Sword's a pretty good adventure game with some RPG elements in the game. There is another Broken Sword game on the Wii and one on the DS. Really fun game though. I highly recommend it. Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter is a good first-person shooter for the original Xbox. It's also available on the PS2. I highly recommend it if you guys like first-person shooters. It was a very fun game. Shell Shock NAM 67 is a good war first-person shooter. I recommend it. Better than the sequel. Sequel was kind of whack, to be honest with you. It was like Call of Duty versus zombies, and I don't know, it wasn't as good. It's like playing Call of Duty Black Ops or Shell Shock 2. But Shell Shock 167, NAM 67 rather, isn't too bad of a game. That game was also released on PS2. Alright, we got Midnight Club 2. Great game for the original Xbox. Fun racing game. And then the last two I want to show here, I have the two Star Wars games. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and also Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast 2. Or Jedi Knight 2, rather. Long titles, trust me. But yeah, they're both great games. And then also, I think that the original Midnight Club is fun. Burnout Revenge, Burnout 3 Takedown, and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. That game looked really good on the original Xbox. The PS2 version did not look as good. The graphics looked terrible. Honestly, they looked more like PS1 games. I compared both of them. The original Xbox version of that game is much better. So that's all I got to say, folks. I hope you guys liked my ranking of the original Xbox games, top 15, and the honorable mentions here. God bless you all, and please stay tuned because the Wii top 15 or top 20 is coming very soon. I'm just waiting on Zelda and Broken Sword and a couple other games that I want to show in the video, and I don't have those games yet. That's why it's taking so long for me to show that off. But don't worry, it's coming. Alright, God bless you all and take care. Have a great day.